Right now at noon, a live look at Green Bay as the start of the NFL draft is officially 1 day away. What it could cost you if you plan on going. Plus, markets rally as President Trump softens his tone on the Fed chief and the trade war with China. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Spreiter. Looking ahead, the Capitol Square will start to look much different. That's because the Wisconsin History Center is set to break ground later today. This is a live look at the groundbreaking ceremony. It's been a long time coming for the state. Governor Tommy Thompson proposed the center 23 years ago before leaving office in 2001. The Historical Society says the site was secured in 2021. The new center will be where the old History Museum stood. Plus, the 20 to 22 North Carroll Street properties were bought to make room for the center. In 2023, the Historical Society shared a first look of the new center and finished relocating the remaining exhibits. The project is expected to be completed in 2027.
It'll be 5 stories. It'll have 3 permanent exhibits as well as a temporary exhibit. It'll also have a community exhibit area, and there'll be lots of space for folks to be able to come in, enjoy the History Center without ticketing. And so people will be able to come to a cafe, see some of the exhibits.
The $160.5 million center will be twice the size of the old museum. The facility is designed to welcome 200,000 guests and 60,000 school students every year. The new museum will feature history from the state's 72 counties. A new bill working its way through the state capitol would expand Medicaid coverage to new mothers. This bill would extend Medicaid coverage for a year instead of 60 days. The bill passed out of the Senate with near unanimous support, but in the state assembly, that could be a different story.
We've not had the discussion this session yet about postpartum. My position's been fairly clear from the very beginning. I've never supported an expansion of welfare. I can't imagine that I would ever support one, but we have to talk about it as a caucus and see where everybody else is.
It's unclear whether we will see this bill become law due to the hang-up in the state assembly. The assembly was also in session yesterday, passing a series of bills, including some of the changes to the state's unemployment insurance system. Now to an update on the progress of the $600 million Madison schools referendums. Since the start of the year, MMSD has been focused on reworking 4 Phase 1 schools. MMSD says the project timeline remains on track, with construction set to start in early 2026. Voters approved the $507 million facilities referendum and a $100 million operational referendum in November. A live look at Lambeau Field this afternoon, where preparations for the NFL draft are wrapping up today. Although the event is free, you'll need a ticket to enter draft grounds. You can download the NFL One Pass app to register for the ticket. You can also do that online or in person at the fan services locations. Entry is first come, first serve. And if you're making plans to visit Green Bay for the NFL draft experience, we have estimates for your pocketbook. Our consumer reporter, Michelle Renee Quinn, crunched the numbers for what it could cost you and a buddy traveling together for the entire weekend.
Anyone in our viewing area will be driving an average distance of 277 miles round trip, using Wisconsin's current average fuel cost of $2.99 and an estimated vehicle efficiency of 25 miles per gallon. That means your spending on fuel will be approximately $35 more or less, depending on your vehicle. Now, pricing information for draft food is not available on the NFL draft site, but let's assume NFL draft prices are similar to Lambeau's usual prices. That would be $14 for a 24-ounce. Now, in my final numbers, I've calculated 2 24-ounce beers for you and 2 for your buddy for each day of the event. Now, let's talk about hotels. Say you drive there Thursday and home Saturday. That's 2 nights in Green Bay. I made several calls this morning, and not surprisingly, hotels within a 5-mile radius are mostly booked up. The closest hotel I could find with availability has only 2 rooms left. That's Country Inn Suites in Ashwaubenon, about 3 miles from downtown. Rooms there run $1,000 a night. You must book a minimum of 3 nights, and for the entire draft week, there are no refunds and no cancellations. So I looked a little further out to have a more affordable option, since you and your buddy are only staying for 2 nights. 25 minutes from Lambeau is the Cobblestone Hotel Suites, Denmark. They still have available rooms for Thursday and Friday night, running $300 a night plus a $100 down payment. So for food, I took the numbers from one of my one-day trip calculations. If you and the buddy eat at a fast food place, a family restaurant, and a steakhouse each night and eat at the free hotel breakfast, I estimate the total food cost to be approximately $300, making a total 3-day, 2-night trip for you and a buddy just over $1,200. And that's without the cost of snacks and experiences inside of the draft. So definitely budget a little over if you plan on spending money at the draft.
Michelle Renee, thank you. She also calculated what it would cost a family of 4 going to the draft for just one day. That's $175, which includes your gas, parking, a drink at the event for mom and dad, and a family dinner. But that number will definitely range depending on where and how much you eat or drink. News 3 Now special team coverage of the NFL draft begins today live at 4. Join Eric Franke, Jason Wilde, sports director Zach Hanley, and sports reporter Andrew Banstra with the sights, sounds, and strategy leading up to the first round tomorrow. Well, we're tracking more rain chances out there. First 4 meteorologist Savannah Burrito has your certified most accurate forecast. She's out on the weather patio this afternoon. No umbrella for now.
Yeah, no umbrella needed for now, Josh, and it's fairly mild outside. We're actually tracking temperatures that are well into the 60s. It was a mild morning too, but you probably want to keep that umbrella handy. We do have not only rain, but storm chances to talk about today into tonight. This is the outlook for later this afternoon into the evening. I do think we could see a second round of showers and storms overnight into early tomorrow morning. Our main threat and really only threat that we could see outside of the heavy rains are going to be hail. Anything that's developing now is out west, kind of near Prairie du Chien. Nothing severe expected at the moment, but we do have a lot of sunshine and higher moisture levels. Those dew points are climbing out there too. Definitely can feel it a little humid outside. Anything also not included in Dane County, but out in Jefferson County around Watertown and also eastward, seeing a few showers develop there as well. We've got a warm front that's boosting temperatures, 66 expected and then even 70 by later this evening. Now I think we'll hold pretty warm overnight. Lows are not going to drop out that much. Mid-50s, maybe even holding up to a 60-degree temperature overnight into early tomorrow morning. Winds starting to pick up a little bit. Our gust, this is more so the last couple of hours, 20 miles per hour in Madison, 22 in Monroe, and 28 up in Wisconsin Dells. We're also tracking very active days next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, where we have several chances of severe weather. We'll talk about the alert days and also threats we could see here in just a little bit, Josh.
Yeah, you can even feel the moisture in the air outside today.
Yeah, definitely. It's very humid. That could help the chances for storms later today.
All right, Savannah, we'll see you in Maine weather in a few minutes. Thank you. Well, the man who killed 7 people at a July 4th parade in Highland Park, Illinois in 2022 is due in court today for sentencing. Robert Cremo III pleaded guilty to scores of charges, including murder and attempted murder. Cremo abruptly changed his plea just before opening statements began in his trial. The 24-year-old faces life in prison. Today, softer tones from President Trump on 2 different issues this week has investors buying. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
Stock markets opened sharply up at the start of trading Wednesday following President Trump's shift on Fed Chair Jerome Powell, now saying he has no plans to fire him.
None whatsoever. Never did. The press runs away with things. No, I have no intention of firing him.
But just days ago, the president said this when asked about his social media post saying Powell's termination can't come fast enough.
I'm not happy with him. I let him know it, and if I want him out, he'll be out of there real fast, believe me.
The president also appeared to soften his tone on tariffs, saying the current 145% tariff on goods from China will come down substantially, but not completely.
I'm not going to say, I'm going to play hardball with China. I'm going to play hardball with you, President Xi. No. We're going to be very nice. They're going to be very nice. And we'll see what happens. But ultimately, they have to make a deal.
The White House says it's setting the stage for negotiations with China, but we don't know of any formal talks scheduled. China's foreign ministry said Wednesday the door to talks is wide open, saying it doesn't wish to fight, but also isn't afraid of fighting.
Intentional policy choices by other countries have hollowed out America's manufacturing sector and undermined our critical supply chains. putting our national and economic security at risk.
Trump advisor Elon Musk told Tesla investors Tuesday that he's voiced opposition to the current tariff strategy and that his work with Doge will be winding down, though said he may still spend a day or two a week on government matters. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Federal laws and regulations limit special government employees, which Musk was hired on as, and they're limited to 130 days of work within any 365-day period. Tesla, which reported a 71% drop in profits last quarter, is also up in trading today. Well, right now, tens of thousands of mourners around the world are streaming into St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City to say a final farewell to Pope Francis. Bells tolled Wednesday as Francis's body was moved to the 16th century Catholic Church from his residence at Casa Santa Marta. In a solemn procession, pallbearers carried Francis's simple wooden coffin through St. Peter's Square, the same journey he made on Easter Sunday, hours before he died.
Pope Francis has made it clear that he does not wish to be buried at St. Peter's Basilica.
On Friday evening, a veil will be placed over his face and his coffin will be closed ahead of Saturday's funeral. In a break from tradition, Pope Francis will be laid to rest at St. Mary Major, a church he visited more than 100 times. Still ahead for us on a Wednesday afternoon, the major organization predicting a U.S. economic slowdown, plus Tesla CEO Elon Musk gives an update on his work with President Trump's Department of Government Efficiency.
Another major organization is predicting a U.S. economic slowdown this year due to President Donald Trump's trade policies. This time, it's the International Monetary Fund. The IMF now projects the U.S. economy will grow 1.8% in 2025, down 0.9% from their January forecast. The organization has also downgraded its global economic growth projection to 2.8%, down from 3.3% in January. Tesla CEO Elon Musk told the company's shareholders that his work with the president's Department of Government Efficiency will drop significantly next month. The electric car maker has been the target of protests over Musk's involvement with the slashing of federal government jobs and drastic funding cuts. Tesla's sales have taken a hit and its stocks have tumbled more than 40% this year, though yesterday Musk's announcement sparked a nearly 5% jump for Tesla. And attention cheesecake lovers, Krispy Kreme's Craving Cheesecake collection is here, featuring 3 new flavors: Strawberry Dream, Cookies and Cream, and Caramel Delight. The new cheesecake collection at Krispy Kreme is only available for a limited time. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Here's a look at the stock numbers at the noon hour. The Dow is up 600 points, NASDAQ up 500, and the S&P 500 up 91. Our Call for Action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. Call for action at 608-270-2833 or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call-for-action. Today's farm numbers are coming up next, along with Savannah's first warn forecast. And later on Live at 4, News 3 Now kicks off special team coverage of the NFL Draft with our crew live in Green Bay. Pam Yankey's out of the radio barn on vacation, so here are your farm numbers. More rain and storms are in the forecast. First, our meteorologist Savannah Burrito is tracking it for us this afternoon. Hi, Savannah.
Hi, Josh. It definitely feels a lot warmer than that 59 we're at right now, only in Madison. I do think temperatures are going to warm up pretty quickly. Might be in between an ob right now, but Janesville and Monroe both at 61. Platteville already at 65. Boscobel at 67, very close to 70 already. I think all of us making it into the upper 60s, lower 70s over the next couple of hours. And dew points are not that far behind that. Our temperature is 59, 53 in Madison. You don't have to have a dew point. You have to have one about 55 plus degrees to get a thunderstorm, and we're already exceeding that. Areas west, Lone Rock at 55. Platteville 55 as well. Monroe's at 57 actually. So we got lots of moisture to work with, and the Storm Prediction Center did place most of the area under a low level threat. We'll get to that in a second, but any rain that's all been moving out of here in towards Milwaukee counties, out of the Madison coverage area, but there are some spotty showers developing along that stationary front south of Viroqua, south of Prairie du Chien, and then out across northern Illinois. That was expected through the afternoon hours. I think once we get over the next couple of hours, 3-4 p.m., we could start to see some storms continue to fire off out in Iowa and then continue to spread east, kind of trailing along the stationary front and where the warm front's currently located to our south. That's still expected to move northward, and that's why they kind of have this green low end threat for severe weather through the overnight hours, keeping that chance even into tonight because our biggest threat is hail, and we could see some stronger storms overnight into early Thursday morning as well. This is a look at 7 p.m. This model showing us completely dry. I still think we'll have isolated to scattered showers and a few storms in the area across southern Wisconsin at this point. We'll see some clearing, but then you can see some storms fire off west out in Iowa, Minnesota early tomorrow morning. So that's a time frame we'll have to watch. After that, the severe threat completely gone, but the heavy rain chance, that'll ramp up Thursday night into early Friday. So this is the part of the day where we're going to get the best chance for heavier and widespread showers. This is 1:30 in the morning. As we head closer to daybreak, that's when those showers are going to travel across the Madison area. Probably going to be dry the second half of Friday, and that will allow skies to quickly clear into Saturday. So this weekend overall looking good. Saturday, the better day as far as sunshine, no rain. But then Sunday, we are going to see warmer temperatures return. Potential rainfall, we're not expecting much overnight, maybe 1/10 of an inch of rain, but you really start to see these numbers increase once we're heading into after Friday when you saw all that heavy rain out in Iowa and continue to spread east. This was showing our totals a lot higher this morning when we were on air, but now it's showing areas northwest of here. I still think we have a good chance of seeing 1/2 an inch, maybe up to an inch here in the Madison area. That's a total for today, tomorrow, and Friday, but our best chance of rain and then even some thunderstorms comes to Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. All 3 of those days, we have added alert days across southern Wisconsin. The potential and the confidence is pretty high. Definitely Monday. I think that cold front into Tuesday could bring us that second chance, and even into Wednesday might stall a little bit, allowing that storm chance the first half of the day on Wednesday. So I did put those out for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We'll definitely have the heat of the day and a lot of moisture to work with. And you know, the Storm Prediction Center has Madison and Northwest under a 15% chance. Josh, they had that yesterday, shifted it to now include the city of Madison, and when you're 6 to 7 days out, that confidence is really high for severe weather.
Yikes, and with those temperatures, you know something will be building somewhere.
Yeah, we're gonna be close to 80. Can you believe that?
Oh, it's gonna feel good, but we don't need the severe weather, that's for sure.
There'll be dry time throughout the day, though.
Sounds good, Savannah. Thank you. Let's see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
We've picked up one of the season's best food buys to make a delicious dessert. And boy, is it good. It's spring, and that means we're starting to see some pretty good buys on produce that we haven't seen in quite a while. Right now, the first of the season's asparagus is in, and is it ever looking good? And right next to it is something that you may not be as familiar with. It's rhubarb. And if you've never worked with it, are you ever missing out? All we do is trim it up like we would celery, but unlike celery, it has to be cooked. And because it's tart, it needs to be balanced with a bit of sweetness, either from sugar or by teaming it up with other fruits. Today, I'm combining it with strawberries to make a to-die-for cobbler. And just in case you get the hankering for rhubarb and you can't find it with all the other produce, rest assured you can always find it parboiled in the freezer aisle. So after combining it with some strawberries, butter, sugar, cornstarch, and a touch of vanilla, we finish it with a buttery crumb topping. After it bakes and gets all bubbly and the top is golden, it's ready to serve with some ice cream or whipped cream. So don't dilly-dally. Go online today and get the recipe for our strawberry rhubarb cobbler so you can take advantage of this best food buy. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a seasonal way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Yum.
Here's Savannah with the final check of your forecast.
Thank you, Josh. We're tracking sunshine right now and temperatures that are hovering in the 60s. We're at 59 still in Madison. Still expecting that temperature to really boost, though, because of our warm front. We're tracking 71 across most of southern Wisconsin. That's the set high today in Madison. It is going to be pretty active with a chance of stronger storms later this evening into tonight. 58, much cooler Friday, dry overall for the weekend, especially Saturday, and then really active alert days next Monday through Wednesday.
All right, Savannah, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Join us for our NFL draft coverage starting live at 4, live from Green Bay.